I think that it's important for people to understand how Tekken works and the reason why this game is so stressful to play. There's a big scare factor in this game that is not in other 3D fighting games for the most part. Soul Calibur has some of this, but it's still not as bad as this game. I just want to kind of talk about it. I'm going to pick one of the main characters in mind that I'm talking about here. This is not the only character that can do this, but I want to talk about one of the main characters that I know off the top of my head that can do this, and hopefully you guys are following what I'm saying. I kind of have my own philosophies in gaming, especially when it comes to fighting games, but I also have a lot of experience in fighting games, and I feel like I kind of know what I'm talking about, to be honest with you guys. So the reason why I want to say that this game is more stressful than other fighting games, in my experience, I want to give you guys my experiences with this, okay? One of the main things that makes this a very stressful fighting game to play, opposed to other games, especially when you look at stages, right? This stage is kind of a bad example. Stages are very, very crucial to gameplay in this game when it comes to matchups and what you're going to be dealing with. Prime example, if you look at a lot of these stages in Tekken, a lot of them have a very close proximity. Like the arena stages, for the most part, like you're going to end up hitting wall after one juggle. You know what I'm saying? You got this stage, you got this stage. Both of these stages, they're not that big, okay? This is one of the only 3D fighting games next to Soul Calibur that you can just get launched. You can just get launched off your fucking feet, okay? The reason why this is so important to understand how stupid this is to deal with is because, for me, for example, I'm not saying that because I come from DOA or VF that this shouldn't be in this game because it's Tekken. Tekken's always kind of been the same. You know, it's always kind of had these really crazy 50-50s to the point where sometimes it makes you feel like you're playing a fucking NetherRealm game. I feel like Tekken is like the NetherRealm game of 3D fighting games. Like, this is one of the only games in the world where there's only one way to truly open somebody up. Without the ability to do this, what am I afraid of, chat? Be honest. Without the ability for Leo to be able to just knock you off your feet like that. And not only is it knocking you off of your feet, okay? Not only is it knocking you off of your feet, okay? But depending on the circumstance, I'm going to have to restart the stage. I want to get him at the perfect range. Depending on the circumstance, this shit is going to cause a wall splat. Which, as you can see, it's not as simple as just getting knocked down. Like, more is going to happen to you if you just simply guess wrong. Now, I'm not saying that they track. I really don't know better in that sense. But for the most part, if somebody's going to hit you with a hell sweep and this bitch's leg is going around in a circle, okay, you're most likely in an Oki situation going to have to get up and block this. That opens you up to get shit on. You understand? I've never felt so overwhelmed in a fighting game, and the reason why this game is so stressful is because the lows are fucking ridiculous. We're talking about a game where no grab is guaranteed, unless now, of course, in this game where they made it so that some throws are guaranteed depending on this, the circumstances, you know, if it's counter hit, whatever the case is, if it's after a rage art on block or power crush, whatever the case is, right? But the problem is that throws, for the most part, in Tekken have always been able to be broken at a neutral level. If you're fighting a super talented Tekken player, or even somebody who's even got a couple years in the game, chances are you're not going to land a single throw. Have you guys ever faced an opponent in Tekken where no matter if you try to grab them, even if you play with Dragunov, like I was playing with Dragunov the other day just messing around, just messing around, and Dragunov has a throw game. He's got a 1, a 2, and he's got a 1+2 throw, which means that it's a 3-way guess if you don't know what to look for. You got people that have been playing this game since at least Tekken 6, Tekken Tag 2 that you're going to bump into online where you will not grab them, ever. It's not going to happen. Grabbing is out of the equation. I want to say that that's the reason why they changed the system in this game and allowed throws to be more prevalent. I'm seeing way more throws now than I've ever seen in Tekken. At the highest level of Tekken, guys, if you go back and watch Evo or anything, you might see like 2 grabs connect the entire time. And I'm not exaggerating. Throws did not connect and land at the top level of Tekken because they're mostly all reactable. You know what I mean? So when you have a game like Dead or Alive, where, as you guys know, or if you don't know, Dead or Alive functions on a throw punishment system. You can strike punish, but it's not really the main way to go about punishment. You're going to mostly go after your throw punishment because it's guaranteed depending on the frames on block. In this game, it does not work that way. I know that they changed the way some of the throws work, but you can still break these fucking grabs. The point I'm trying to make with this is that if the only way to truly open somebody up is with a low, which is why I believe that lows are so strong in Tekken. People are like, oh, dude, especially like my fellow DOA players and VF players that are coming to Tekken, they're like, dude, the lows in this game are absolutely fucking ridiculous. But we come from games where lows are ass. Like Dead or Alive, guys, most lows on hit are negative. You have very rarely are you going to see a low connect on hit in Dead or Alive or VF for the most part that is going to actually give you frame advantage. It's very rare for it to really happen, you know what I mean? Some characters in VF and Dead or Alive do have a couple of moves, but for the most part, like, prime example, my character Kage, he really doesn't have a whole bunch of lows that you're going to be able to hit somebody with that's going to be plus on hit. This game works the complete opposite. This game works on a low attack basis, meaning if you're fighting a player who can break grabs and they have good movement, the only way you're going to open them up is if you start chipping away at their fucking legs. Okay, so as you can see, stature kick is +4 on hit, right? You can see the +4 right there. What are you going to do after that, other than try to move or try to guess and attack this character? I got a 14 frame down forward 2. Okay, so if this is +4 and I do this, right, that means that I have a 10 frame down forward 2. Now, I think that if I jab, we trade. But the point I'm trying to make is that if I get hit by Kazuya's stature kick, I have to make a choice. I have to make a choice. Because of the respect factor with Kaz's tools, he can simply go like that and then hell sweep me. Because what am I gonna really do right there? Like, you really can't do shit. I come from games where you can't just beat people with lows. Like, you guys understand that Kazuya has the potential to knock you down, and the whole match can be over if you just don't guess correctly after that. Whether he knocks you down into a steel pedal, or he knocks you down into a forward 3 and you try to guess a low, whatever the case is, yeah, you can move out of the way of this stuff, but you can also realign on wake up as well, so you can't really just evade this stuff either. If I watch a lot of my replays and the matches that I'm losing, honestly, I'm starting to realize one of my biggest weaknesses in this game. I respect lows way too much. Because I come from a game like Dead or Alive, where the goal is not to get touched by the opponent. If I get counter hit in DOA, I'm going to get stunned, and I have to continuously try to guess my way out. Whereas in this game, if you get hit by a low, that could be the end of the round. You understand? Like, you're not going to just get bodied by lows in Dead or Alive, or even Virtua Fighter, because they're not that strong. Watching my replays and seeing what I'm losing to and getting hit by is because my dumbass is trying to not get hit by any lows. You know what I'm saying? So I also feel like a big weakness of people that are coming into this game like myself, we're trying to block everything. I watch a lot of high-level players. Like, I watch a lot of their streams. I even talked to my homie Little Majin. And Little Majin told me, why would you duck if you can die for it? He said that you're going to get hit. Like, it's inevitable to get hit. You're playing a fighting game. If you're just guessing correctly all the time, you have a read on your opponent's pattern, that's one thing. But why am I ducking? You know what I'm saying? You can't really kill me from a low like that. You know what I'm saying? I guess it really just depends on the character. But for example, with Kazuya, right? If Kazuya hell sweeps me 10 times, I think that I would just feel better if I just got hell swept 3 times or 4 times and then get hit by a 4-4-3 and wake up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, talking to him, he was pretty much saying, like, yo, you have to understand the risk reward with what you're doing. Like, where's the risk reward at? You know what I'm saying? And then once he said that, I swear it made so much sense to me. I'm like, okay, you gotta pick and choose, you know, your poison of how you want to die. Especially if we're playing and the game just starts. Why am I trying to guess if you're gonna hell sweep me or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, just do the shit if you're gonna do it. And also too, I have noticed that you really have a lack of people in this game that, not to say they don't abuse lows, but like people are, like 60% at least are going to opt out to go for the mid mix-up. And I think the reason why is because a lot of the best mids in this game are generally kind of safe, opposed to the lows that'll kill you on guard. You know what I mean? If I block a Kazuya hell sweep, he's going to die from this. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I can block a 4-4-3 and nothing's going to happen to him. That's a safe move on guard. So there's definitely a big risk-reward factor in this game. And talking to Majin, he was pretty much telling me that you have to decide when it's smart to duck and when it's not. Why are you going to get up and duck against Kazuya if he can just hell sweep you and really not get much from it? Now, if you're talking about Devil Jin, that's the problem that I start having in this game, where it's like, okay, Devil Jin isn't just knocking you down. Like, Kaz is just knocking you down, right? Like, Kaz is just knocking you down. Devil Jin isn't just knocking you down. He's knocking you down into a fucking combo, into an exploding wall now. So, for me, I really am just trying to find that perfect balance of playing defense in this game and really just trying to play the game a little slower and just guarding more. You know what I'm saying?